So I thought to myself, how do I plan for this video? Mechanical versus digital. Which one is best? Now, straight away, the title, is tricky. And, and how do I go down this tricky road? And I thought to myself, do you know what, Stephen? What I should do is I should just put the watches on the table like this and just hit play. And that's what I'm going to do. So, which is the best? Now, I'm not going to say, I think at the end of this video, my conclusion isn't going to be which is the best. But let's go down this avenue. Now, straight away, what we have here is an Omega Speedmaster Mark II. And straight away, people are going to be saying, well, hold on a second, hold on. You've got a high-end Omega Speedy there against a full metal G-Shock Square. And there is a little bit of a price delta. And I thought to myself, yes, but what I've got is a very similar colour scheme thing going on. And then someone is going to say, no, that isn't fair. There's a huge price delta there because the old mechanical dark side here is up against the Luke Skywalker type of watch, and this is approximately, it might be okay, it might be 10 times more than this one. So I thought, everyone relax, just stay right there. This one might pull in his big brother of the similar color scheme, and I thought, okay, so let's pull away Luke Skywalker and let's put in his big brother, because we've got basically the same thing. The color scheme is roughly the same, and we're dealing with this price delta. Now we're almost up to parity here, although still the big dark mechanical grey side here is saying to this guy, yeah, but you're still not at the altitude that I fly at. Look at this altitude. It's dripping with polished sides, a fabulous case back, steel, and it's even got some high-end turbocharge elements like a silicon hairspring. And I would say yes, but this bad boy here with the thin red line has got multi-band 6, solar, STN display, Bluetooth, titanium. It's got every single flavour of titanium you can think about, and it even has this lock on the clasp here. And it even has a contrasting dark display back. But it does have the thin red line, and I thought, actually, okay, are we like for like here? Because this is just black and white basically, and this good guy here has got that thin red line. Now many people are going to say the shimmering thin red line here outshines the Omega because it's just cool. And I would say, you have a point. But I suppose I could have the racing version of this one with the orange markers, and that would be an equivalent to a thin red line, and then we'd have parity again. But I suppose we do have the thin red line here, and okay, and apparently this big brother might want to step aside because we're not getting this like for like feeling. So let me just pull this aside for a moment, and let's pull in the other brother that we've forgotten about. And this guy is saying, hey, I might even be an even better comparison. So if this turns into a bare knuckle fight, not only am I rocking stainless steel and black, plus I've even got, on this version, I've got a black display, white numerals, so I'm colour matched to this. But what I've got here is the cornflake effect, the recrystallized. So, I'm wearing a very cool North Face jacket here as well. Now, at that point, I thought to myself, okay, hold on, Mr. G-Shock. Hold on, the original full metal, you know, the young brother here. Hold on, hold on. You've pulled in 2 brothers so far, and you know, and everyone is shouting, you know, come on G-Shock, if this goes into a bare knuckle fight, you know, let's have like for like. And this cornflake has said, yeah, if we go into that ring, I'm going to eat you alive, Omega, you mechanical thing. I'm fully maxed out with digital and electronic capability like multiband 6, Bluetooth, negative display, recrystallized. If I get into the ring with you and your column wheel chronograph, a silicon hairspring, coaxial movement, and your large petrol tanker 52-hour power reserve, I'm going to flex over you. I'm going to beat you hands down all day long in that ring. So I thought, okay, guys, calm down, calm down. You know, shout, bringing everyone's brother into the ring might not be exactly what we want. You know, so come on, little brother, get back in where you started. And I said, well, I feel like I should say, look, you, Mr. Crystallized, you know, we don't need you right now flexing and talking about bare knuckle fist fights. So you can just stand over here for a moment, and let's go to the very beginning, and let's pull into play once again the original Full Metal and the original Speedy Mark II, and let's just fight it out. You're cruising at similar weights, although the Speedy Mark II, you know, he's almost 20% heavier than the Full Metal G-Shock here, but they are in the same ballpark. The colour schemes are almost the same. But I want to say to this young pup here, look, you're the original Full Metal. You're the watch that got everything started. You've pulled your brothers in. You know, they want to have a go at the Speedy over here. And I don't think we need to do that, because I think we're going to get to a point where, in actual fact, we don't need this to turn into a boxing match. We can simply look at the functions and the build quality and how it feels on the wrist independently. So let's do that. So everyone, calm down. This is turning into a crazy video, but anyway, let's go with it. So this is the Speedy Mark II on my wrist. Now, this is the first measurement that I'm using. When you put it on, what does it feel like? Is it cool? Does it look cool? And right now, we're not getting 9 out of 10. We're not getting 9.5 out of 10. We're coming in straight in at 10 out of 10. I'm sorry, but we are. That just looks the bee's knees. So let's put him back down there just for a moment. Okay, let's bring in the Full Metal and do exactly the same. Okay, so all the judges are sat down waiting. Let's put him on. Let's get the clasp, the sound. Okay, judges, let's see your scorecards. Am I getting an 8 out of 10? Am I getting a 9 out of 10? No, unanimously, they've all pulled out a 10 out of 10. So straight away, we've got the cool factor dealt with. The pair of these are 10 out of 10 on the wrist. Now that's undisputed, no one is complaining about that, and everyone's agreeing, they're agreeing that that's the case. And someone in the crowd has just shouted, but the mechanical scum there, you know, he's 10 times the value of the G-Shock. This is not a fair fight. And I'm explaining, look, we don't need punches here. We need to look at, you know, these two guys can be friends. We've just put them on the same wrist and they've both got 10 out of 10. So let's not worry about the price delta. Let's go through the functions. But first of all, let's just go for a more of a side view. Right, so there's the side view of this hot rod, this mechanical delight. That's pretty cool. Look at that. Let's put him there, and let's go for a side profile of the Full Metal G. Oh yes, that's a winner also. Now I've just had a whisper in my ear, and the judges have said, look Stephen, we don't like this contest because we're finding that even though the panel is very unbiased, both of them are once again pulling out 10 out of 10. So I don't know what to do about that. We've got no differential on the side there either. Okay, let's go for a case back shot. Okay, so we pull up the omega there, and all of a sudden the hippocampus, the contrast of the shiny parts with the brushed and the side shine of the bracelet, we are getting 10 out of 10 there as well. Okay, this is becoming ridiculous. We're just getting a lot of 10s. Now let's flick over to the backside of the full metal. Now, at this point, we are a little bit different because we've got a black case back here. And the judges are murmuring amongst themselves, and they are really thinking, you know, what colour it should be. On this occasion, the whispers I'm getting is the case back is possibly not as good as the mechanical bad boy here. The silver case back on the Omega seems to be winning here, because I'm being shouted a 9 out of 10 here. Right, so this is the only point that initially has been taken from G-Shock. So up until this very point, they've been neck and neck. The G-Shock is only down by a point. So far we've got the aesthetics, we've got the side shot, and we've got the back shot. The G-Shock's only down 1 point. Okay, so let's go to functionality. This basically has a chronograph and a tachymeter, and that's it. So the judges are shouting, you know, this is going to be an odd one, because they know what's coming down the road here. And so straight away they are saying, look, the chronograph is brilliant, they love it, its clarity is brilliant, that they love it. But because they know this little guy's in the background, they're shouting at me, the functionality of the Speedy Mark II has got to be a 7. Because if it was a 3-hand with a date, it would be a 5. If it was a 3-hand, it would be a 2.5. Apparently, the judges don't like no dates, and this has a date there, so that's why it gets a 7. And if I pull the G-Shock in, straight away people are shouting at me 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10. So I don't need to go, you know, into the details here, because we have world time, we have the time of every inch of planet Earth and the rest of the universe. It's all on there. And then we have more alarms you could throw a stick at. In fact, everyone in the neighbourhood, I could set an alarm for them. Stopwatch. We can time everything here, and it's 100th of a second. And then we have a timer. So once again, we get full marks there, and then we're back to the home screen. And so unanimously, we get 10 out of 10 there. So right now, on the scoreboard, the G-Shock is 4 points ahead. That is quite amazing. Okay, so we've got the way it looks on top, the way it looks on bottom, the way it looks at the side, and also a price delta, and the G-Shock's coming on top. And so what I have to do now is think of another category to differentiate these two. And off the top of my head, I'm struggling. I've just thought of one. Okay, this might bring the Omega, you know, back on track. Fighting against the G-Shock here. Okay, build materials. Straight away, solid stainless steel. We probably know what's coming here. Straight away, solid stainless steel. So we have a very similar case, and based on that, we have parity. But let's just go a bit further, and you can probably tell my next point. That is a sapphire crystal, and we know it's pretty hard. In fact, there aren't many materials harder than sapphire crystal. So this is where the price delta, you know, could be a challenge for the full metal, because this crystal is not sapphire crystal, and someone in comments actually told me the other day it's not hardlex, it's a mineral crystal, a G-Shock's probably own recipe, and it is very hard and it is perfect for these watches. It's a mineral crystal, it's very hard, does the job perfect, you're never going to have a problem with it, but it's not sapphire crystal. And based on that alone, materials, this loses only 1 point. So still, the G-Shock and the Omega are, well, the G-Shock's still 3 points ahead. And considering the price delta, this is absolutely amazing. Now, I think I've had the way it looks on the wrist. Yes, they were both 10 each. So I'm trying to find another category that we can go into. Now, I could throw in a cheap shot here like Power Reserve, and the Casio is going to win hands down. It's going to wipe the floor with, you know, Mr. Omega Speedy 2 here. So I won't throw that in, it's a little bit unfair. So let's go with an overall feeling. No, let's not do that, because I think we're going to, I think I've covered that in the first one. They're both about a 10. I think we actually end the contest there, because off the top of my head I can't think of another way to check to find 3 points for the Omega. But I think, you know, being 3 points down, that really isn't a bad outcome. Not really, not against a full metal G-Shock Square. Because the G-Shock Square is 10 years younger. He's only 40 years old in his design. Now this bad boy here is actually another 10 years older. This is 1970, late 60s, 1970. So we've got, this is 50 years old, and this bad boy is 40 years old. In fact, this is probably more like 52 years old, and this is, no, this is 40 years old, and this is 52. But roughly, there's a 10-year delta here. That there, that you're looking at, is 50 years old, the design of it, and that there is 40 years old. So the fact I'm holding these is because their design is long lasting. I think decades of the same design being made today is such a celebration for both these watches. And for that they both get a point each, but it doesn't really differentiate them. Anyway, in this contest, in this battle, Mr. G-Shock's won. And I don't know how to explain that to people. I suppose you could say to, the question could be posed to me, hey Stephen, which is your favourite? And I have to say to you, I don't have a favourite. I like them both, and I know that on a daily basis I would actually wear both of them. But saying that, I'd probably pick out the C3PO, the gold one of this, and I'd probably wear that. If I had a gold one of this, I would absolutely, that would be the coolest thing on earth. But if this was in full gold, it would be half a kilo. So we might be entering the realms of impossibility. I know that the full gold version of this is 300 grams. You know, we're heading towards half a kilo there. But I've got the ion plated version, so you know it's around the 170 mark, and I think this is around the 200 gram mark. Anyway, let's bring this video to a close. This is the comparison between mechanical and digital. And in this bout, in this cage fight, Mr. G-Shock won, but he only won by 3 points. And considering there's a price delta here of 10 times, this guy is much cheaper. I don't think that is a bad outcome at all. Mr. Omega, he's not really bothered because he's 10 years older. I mean, this guy's almost pulling his pension. And then I say, hey, look, Mr. G-Shock, you know, don't start laughing because you're in your 40s, so you can pipe down. Anyway, both these guys are very happy. They're in the same collection anyway, so they are really mates, and so we don't really have a problem there. But I thought to myself, let me shoot this video and let's see where we get to. And so this is unscripted, off the top of my head. The winner's G-Shock, the runner-up is Omega. Neither of them care. The audience are screaming, they're both winners. All the judges are telling me that it's the hardest job they've ever had to do. and they're pleased with the outcome. We are all happy. I hope everybody else is happy, and I'm going to wish you all a very good day and speak to you again soon.